Good evening. I'm Gary Franchi, Next News Network Chief White House Correspondent, delivering the latest White House news from the past 24 hours in partnership with our streaming partner, Trump Daily Post. Tonight, the White House message is centered on strength, honor, security, and results. President Trump honored American heroes. The administration pressed its America First Iran agreement. Border releases hit a 3-decade low, and Tulsi Gabbard closed out her time at ODNI with a farewell and new disclosures tied to Anthony Fauci. The day's emotional centerpiece came at the White House, where President Trump held a Medal of Honor ceremony honoring 3 Americans for extraordinary valor. The broader White House message paired that patriotism with a record of action from national security to border enforcement, while official social media pushed images of a country that the administration says is strong, safe, and respected again. The same White House messaging also highlighted continued momentum behind the Iran agreement, falling oil prices, surging markets, and record low border release numbers. Also drawing major attention over the last 24 hours, Tulsi Gabbard posted she walked out of ODNI headquarters for the last time and thanked President Trump for the honor of serving the nation as the Director of National Intelligence. The same White House guidance identified her release of new Fauci-related documents as one of the biggest accountability developments of the day, tied to COVID-era policies, gain-of-function research, suppression of the lab leak theory, and coordination involving intelligence elements and media during the previous administration. The guidance also highlighted cabinet messaging from Secretary Kennedy on summer health and President Trump's Truth Social post praising what he called a very popular agreement. The White House said President Donald J. Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance signed a memorandum of understanding with Iran, aiming at preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon and ensuring the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz to free navigation. The administration framed the agreement as America First in action and a clear break from the failures of the Biden years. The White House also released support from Senators John Barrasso, Jim Banks, Marsha Blackburn, and Lindsey Graham, all backing the agreement as a move that strengthens security, promotes peace through strength, and helps economic stability, including lower energy costs. And according to the daily guidance, President Trump's weekend schedule begins with executive time at the White House, followed by travel to Joint Base Andrews to greet U.S. Air Force service members before departing for Camp David. On Saturday, the president remains at Camp David for executive time, and on Sunday he returns to the White House through Joint Base Andrews. Most of the movement is closed to the press with travel pool coverage only. And from the pool report, the presidential motorcade arrived at Joint Base Andrews at 2:32 p.m., rolled along the flight line to the hangar, where the Beast entered at 2:37 p.m. The trip from Washington was uneventful as the president moved into the closed press event before departing later for Camp David. And also from the pool report, the president was set to speak inside a large hangar with the event broadcast and streamed live. A new Air Force One, that's right, bearing a paint scheme designed by President Trump, stood opposite the press position with a stage and lectern beneath the presidential seal on the aircraft. And from the pool report, President Trump also toured the bridge of the new Air Force One aircraft and was accompanied by Margot Martin and Natalie Harp. The update tied the visit to U.S. Air Force press release shared by the White House. And from the pool report, President Trump arrived at the event at 3:39 p.m. After exiting the parked aircraft in a hangar lined with large American flags, he greeted the crowd with fist pumps, shook hands with military leaders, including Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, and prepared to deliver remarks before heading to Camp David. Also from the pool report, President Trump confirmed that an aircraft had been gifted to the United States by the government of Qatar. The report presented that confirmation as part of the president's in-town activities tied to the Andrews event. Also from the pool reports, the president wrapped his remarks at 4:10 and announced that his return from the G7 in France marked the final planned presidential trip on the VC-25A aircraft, the original Air Force One. He said that the modified Qatari aircraft will be transformed into a flying White House and take part in a major July 4th flyover of the Capitol and the White House. Also said he's working with Jack Nicklaus to renovate the golf course at Joint Base Andrews. Also from the pool report, the president departed the hangar at 4:19, boarded Marine One at 4:21, and lifted off for Camp David at 4:26 without taking any questions.